welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Dutchy, and a big happy National Coming Out Day to all of my fellow members of the LGBTQ+ community. Whether you are in or out of the closet, you are all so beautiful and so valid, and I am also super proud of every single one of you. I love you so much, and we're in this together forever and always. So, in honor of National Coming Out Day, I thought it was the perfect time to take a trip down memory lane, because it was about this time last year that I came out to you guys on YouTube. I made my coming out video last November, and I came out to my friends and family around that time too. So I took to my Instagram and got you guys to ask me some questions regarding coming out 1 year later, and yeah, let's do it. Okay, so first of all, here is a snippet from my coming out video last year. My oh my, how things have changed. Like, holy shit. I really don't know how to start this video. Someone won't stop following me around. Snuggle. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Dutchy, and this video is so nerve-wracking. I actually don't know where to start. Oh my god. I had braces still. I was still a little ranger. Going to be one of the most raw and personal videos that I ever post to the internet. I don't ever get scared or nervous to film and upload, but a coming out video, but she's been filming with a rainbow flag in the background for months. Today is definitely an exception. This is my coming out story. Is it hot in here? I'm hot in here. Alright, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through that. However, I will leave a link in the description box below to my original coming out video. If you haven't seen it, it's out there. You guys can watch it, but I'm sure most of you guys know my story anyway. So, let's get into these questions. First question is, what has changed the most? I think the thing that has changed the most for me is my ability to cut out the bullshit. Cut out the bullshit people that have an opinion on me being bi, or have a prejudice towards me being bi, and just bi people in general. When I first came out, I was really scared of like stereotypes and what people would think of me and future relationships and friendships and stuff. But now I'm sort of like, if someone has an issue with bisexuals, that's their issue, not mine. And yeah. And also, I am 100% myself now, within myself, my personality, my dress sense, like everything has changed in that respect. Obviously, sexuality and gender and sexuality and like fashion sense are two completely different things, but I think coming to terms with my sexuality, that really helped me come into who I was as a person. So I, for the longest time, didn't know who I was. And obviously, like, your sexuality doesn't define you as a person. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like, sure, I'm bisexual, but I'm also Megan, and I'm also so many other things. Like, so many things make up who you are, but at the same time your sexuality is like a pretty integral part of you. And because for so long I didn't know what I was or who I was searching for that last little piece. And when I finally found that last piece of the puzzle, everything sort of just seemed to fall into place, including how I expressed myself through fashion. I stopped wearing things I didn't want to wear anymore, and I started wearing things and only things I wanted to wear, and doing things I wanted to do a lot more freely, and without caring what others thought. So yeah, a lot has changed. How did you deal with close friends that didn't take it well? Honestly, I gave them some time, and then after a while I just dropped them. And I know that sounds harsh, but at the same time there is no room for negativity and toxicity in your life. I didn't really have any close friends per se that didn't agree with it or weren't supportive. I just had some friends from back home that were close friends in high school and stuff that I still talked to at the time, and then when they found out, they were really kind of harsh about it, jumped to conclusions without actually talking to me, the person that was going through all these changes, and the only person that could answer any of the questions that they had. But anyway, so yeah, I gave them like a few weeks or a few months to, you know, come to me or apologize because I'd heard what they said about me and stuff, and they just didn't. So I was kind of like, see ya, sis. And honestly, yeah, as I said, there is no room for negativity or toxicity in your life. If you do have people surrounding you who are negative towards you, who don't support you and your morals and your sexuality, your gender, anything to do with you, they don't deserve you. How did you tell people you were bi that you were extra scared to tell? Honestly, I wasn't scared to tell anyone. I was like a little anxious to tell people, but that was only because of the stereotypes. Like, there wasn't a specific person that I was super scared to tell, just because I know my family were going to be supportive. They're super progressive, and I knew my closest friends were going to support me no matter what, and that they love me no matter what. So there wasn't someone that I was super scared to tell per se, other than myself. Coming out to yourself is the hardest part, or was the hardest part for me. How are you doing? That is honestly such a wholesome, sweet question, so thank you. I'm doing really well, like extremely well, and I'm really grateful and proud of how far I've come, even since last year. What's the first thing you can remember doing that was a gay memory? F***ing a girl. What difficulties do you face today because of it? Also, tips for people with strict Christian family. I honestly haven't faced any difficulties as of yet that I'm aware of. Possibly maybe brand deals. If a brand isn't LGBT friendly, obviously they're probably not going to approach me because I am very open and transparent about my sexuality and things like that. Tips for people with a strict Christian family. This one's hard for me because I kind of can't relate. Take anything that I say with a grain of salt. I think it depends entirely on the family. So you could have a strict Christian family who would still be okay with you being part of the LGBTQ+ community. Or you may be on the other end of the spectrum with a strict Christian family who really do not support that and won't support that, which is super sad. I honestly think at the end of the day, you need to put yourself first. So if you know that coming out is going to put you in a position where you are not safe and it compromises your well-being or a bed to sleep in and a roof over your head, then it might be best to keep it to yourself for a while until you can support yourself. And most importantly, if you do find yourself in a situation where you don't feel as though it is safe to speak to your family members or anyone that, yeah, is part of your family that might out you or something like that, then find someone you can trust and someone that you know will support you to get you through until you feel like you can come out to your family. But yeah, honestly, it depends on the family. It's a tough one. How do you feel now, honestly? What are the pros and cons to how your life has changed? I feel really good. Honestly, I am so blessed and grateful to have this platform to speak on. Recently at VidCon, I met some of you guys and I met some of your parents. Meeting some of your parents truly killed me on the inside. Like, I was so emotional. There was this one mum who thanked me for the content I create and for helping her kid and like helping her understand her child's sexuality, and I just honestly nearly lost it. Like, I know that I help you guys. Trust me, I know. I see all of your DMs, all of your comments, and I appreciate that so much, and I'm so glad. I would never go back. Coming out on the internet and coming out in general was the best thing I've ever done because it's opened up so many doors for me, and it's helped me personally, but it's also helped you guys, which is my main goal, to help as many people as I can, whether it's so that you guys can relate or get your questions answered, that sort of thing. But it really hit home speaking to some of your parents and seeing how my content affects your family life and yeah, just your life in general at home. So I feel honored, I feel empowered, I just feel great. Pros, definitely those things I just mentioned, being super confident within myself, not caring what others think, just becoming a more confident person in general, and just really coming into myself has been awesome. Cons, losing certain people in your life, but then at the same time, maybe that's a pro because maybe they weren't true friends in the beginning. I don't know. What's your advice now for people that want to come out but are too scared? I've been there, honestly. First tip is come out to yourself first and don't rush it. I made sure I came out to myself before I came out to anyone else. I made sure I was 100% sure. I didn't rush it. I personally experimented because I had these thoughts and feelings for girls. I'd always been attracted to and like romantically interested in cisgendered guys, and then I was like, damn, I'm into cisgendered girls too, or at least I think. I started like fantasizing about them, wanting to kiss them, like wanting to be in relationships with them, and then an opportunity popped up for me to sort of like experiment with another woman, and yeah, that solidified it for me. But that's not the case for everyone, and you certainly don't have to experiment to know that you're bisexual. That was just it for me. So if you are in the same boat thinking things but like not 100% sure, and the opportunity arises for you to kiss a girl or kiss a guy or whomever, maybe do it.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's very homophobic of you, Siri. Do what you need to do first, okay? A lot of people like get really confused with their sexuality and feel like they need to tell someone come out straight away. I don't think that's right at all. I think everyone comes to terms with their sexuality differently. And I feel as though if you're 100% confident within yourself and your sexuality first, it makes it a lot easier to come out. Then my next step is when you are out to yourself and you've accepted it and you're working through that, I would honestly, unless you know for sure that your family is going to be there for you and support you and everything, I would tell someone close to you first, maybe not a family member, a best friend, someone that you know will fully support you and someone that maybe already knows. And then like once you gain that support from the first person, things get so much easier. You've got that backing, you've got someone who supports you. And I've said this before, if you don't feel comfortable coming out to your family on your own, you could always bring this bestie or this other family member when you come out to your parents if you feel as though it might not go so well and you want some support. But if not, obviously if you want to do it by yourself, you can do that too. Sometimes it's hard to read your parents. They may not say homophobic things or joke about anything like that. And then you may come out to them and they may not accept it or understand it straight away. Try not to get too offended by that. Obviously, we want to be accepted as soon as we come out to someone. That's the main goal. That's what we want in life. But obviously that can't be the case all the time. So I mean, if you wanted to sort of subtly hint at yourself being gay or try and gauge how they feel about the LGBTQ+ community, you could start dropping hints or start saying some gay things or referring to gay things in the media or showing your parents things on YouTube that interest you, that have like a queer sort of, and then see how they react to that sort of thing. That can help. And if they're super positive about it, then it might give you a boost to then come out to them. And if not, then maybe you could wait a bit and continue talking to that first trusted person that you came out to. I think it's also important to remember, I know I said like you come out to your family, go over to the house, but like it doesn't always have to be like a sit down super formal chat. You could leave your parents a note or your mum or dad a note or caregiver. You could text them, you could send them a meme, you could send them one of my videos. It doesn't always have to be super formal. It's just, you could invite them into your room, come out of your closet and be like, hello, get it? It doesn't have to be super formal. It doesn't have to be super intimidating. You can do it in a creative way that you see fit and the way that you feel most comfortable. And the final thing I wanted to say on that is it's completely normal and okay to be scared. That is not an unusual feeling. Yeah, so it's okay to be scared, but don't come out until you're ready. What are some points you can make to homophobic people to help them understand you? Ooh, that's a good one and a tough one. I think it depends on the homophobic comment that has been made. This is a hard one because you obviously don't want to add fuel to the fire and you don't want to like react to homophobic people because that's what they want. When a homophobic person says something to you, they're wanting a reaction, right? They want you to be offended, which is what we don't want to give them because we don't want them to succeed. But at the same time, you want to stand up for yourself and you want to tell them that it's not okay and it's not alright to be saying that. So obviously it depends on the comment. Try not to get emotional with it. Try and just sort of reply in a monotone way that sort of tells them like that's not okay. Or like just say, hey, you can't say that. Or you could say like, that's your opinion, not mine. You can walk away from the situation. I mean, it's hard without a specific example. Just try to stay level-headed. Don't let your emotions take over and just reply in a really mature way. Or just leave it or ignore it. Yeah, hard one. How much has your style changed, etc.? So much. I touched on this before. A lot. Like a lot. Sexuality and fashion expression and stuff aren't like linked and like clothes don't have a gender, but damn, have I come into my own. Whew. And thank God. Have your preferences changed at all? Yes and no. Since realizing I was bisexual, no. But since thinking I was hetero, yes, obviously. Obviously when I thought I was still a straight girl, I was super into guys, super attracted to guys, boyfriend, dating, talking. And then obviously realized I was attracted to females. And honestly now on a romantic level, I don't believe in percentages. I'm not someone that's like, oh my God, I'm 60-40. But if I had to say, I am equally romantically attracted to men and women. Like there is no difference there. I could just as easily fall in love with a woman as I can a man. In terms of sexual attraction though, definitely more sexually attracted to women, but I would still 100% date a guy. I still find guys hot and I'm still attracted to them and still like having sex with them. I just prefer it with a woman. But yeah, nothing is stopping me from dating a guy either. So This person said, where are you on the Kinsey scale? I think I'm a 4 judging on this. Predominantly homosexual, but more than incidentally heterosexual. Have all your friends accepted you? Have you had to lose friendships? Honestly, like 90% accept me and love me, and it didn't change their view of me or their relationship with me. Yeah, I had to lose some. And it was kind of my choice to lose them too, because I feel like if I just never brought it up again and we just kept hanging out, they would probably like not care, honestly, and would just act like it didn't happen, which to me is not good enough. But I sort of got to a point where I was like, yo, like, I just got to a point where I was like, you know what? If you're not gonna talk to me about it or like react to it in any way, then bye. Have guys, girls, people ever turned you down because of your sexuality? No. Who was the first person you came out to? Me, myself, and I. How were you 100% sure? As I mentioned previously, I experimented. It was all well and good enough for me personally, not for anyone else, just speaking from personal experience, to be interested in dating and sleeping with women. And I like almost knew like 90%. Like I was fully, it was consuming my thoughts every single day, every single night, girls, girls, girls. And it wasn't until I slept with a girl and like had an intimate sort of moment with a girl that I was like, tick, tick, tick. Like there was just one last box to tick, and that's what made me 100% sure. But then at the same time, everyone's journey is different and not everyone has to do that. You can be 100% sure without even, you know, experimenting. So, but that's how I was 100% sure. Are you able to be 100% you, or do you still find yourself trying to fit in? No, not at all. I am 100% myself now. I don't give a what other people think of me. I dress how I want, I act how I want, I say what I want, I do what I want. Yeah, I don't let anything affect me these days. Whereas back then, I was always trying to fit in with what I wore, what I said, what I did. Yeah, that's changed. What kind of girls attract you versus what kind of guys attract you? Love you, by the way. I love you so much too. Girls, tomboy, mask, androgynous, super funny, flirty, good smile, good fashion sense. Damn, fashion. A guy, again, fashion, good smile, pretty much the same. In terms of guys, yeah, good dress sense, funny, and knows how to hold a conversation. Do you still experience biphobia from friends or family? Not so much biphobia, more people not understanding it, and more people still in that mind frame of, oh, but you'll end up with a guy or end up marrying a guy, and they don't mean it. And I know it's still like there's no excuse for it, but people just are always in that mindset of woman ending up with a man, man ending up with a woman, you know, that sort of thing. But not like in a particular way or like on purpose, I don't think, no. Do you think it's easier to come out as bi than gay? No offense. No offense taken. Definitely not. No. How's it going in terms of loving and accepting yourself and others understanding you? Really well for both of those. Loving and accepting myself has been a journey, but I feel like I am there. It is a constant journey, it never ends, but I am so much closer to loving myself and accepting myself for who I am than I was this time last year. Like, damn. And others too. Do you still feel alone sometimes? Yeah. Of course, I think everyone goes through stages of feeling alone. I think when you do, it's important to surround yourself with people who love and appreciate you and support you. Yeah. What would you have changed about coming out? P.S. Illy. Illy! Absolutely nothing. I believe everything happens for a reason. Everything we do shapes us into the people we are today. And yeah, I wouldn't have changed the way I came out at all. How did you come out? I made a coming out video. And how I came out to my parents, I went home one weekend. I actually had like a friend's birthday, and I sort of just said to mum, oh, so I'm kind of into girls too. And she was like, oh, what? And she didn't really understand it. My dad was like, who? Like, he doesn't care as long as I'm healthy and happy. And my mum didn't really understand bisexuality, but she wasn't like dismissive of it. She just didn't really get it. But yeah, I just came out to them when I went home and said, hey, I'm into girls too. What were the type of questions you asked when you came out? Is your relationship the same as when your parents didn't know? Yeah, my relationship with my parents is exactly the same, if not better. The type of question that I get frequently, not necessarily from my parents, although I've had it once or twice, but from other people is, so if you date a guy, does that mean you're straight again? Or if you date a girl, doesn't that make you just gay? Yeah, I get that a lot. Do you ever go through phases of questioning again? Yes, I think that's part of life. I think that's part of sexuality. Yeah, I do. And then I bring myself back down, I think about everything and lay it all on the table and realize, no, I am a bisexual baddie. This is who I am. But yeah, of course, I do go through phases of questioning, and that's completely normal. Do you think you would have had the same coming out experience if you weren't on YouTube? No, I wouldn't have come out to the internet, and I wouldn't have helped as many people. But in terms of how my friends and family reacted, I think it would have been exactly the same. I just wouldn't be out here helping heaps of you, and that would suck. Is there a lot of biphobia in Australia? Honestly, I think there's a lot of biphobia everywhere. I don't think specifically Australia, even within the LGBT community, like what the hell? I'll never get it. How long did it take for your parents to accept you? P.S. I love you. I love you too. Not very long. It didn't take them long to accept me. They accepted it straight away. They didn't fully understand it, but they weren't like, and they didn't need time to like get their head around it. They just needed time to understand that an individual can be attracted to their own gender and another gender or several other genders. It's possible, you guys. Who would have thought? What were the struggles you were facing before you came out, like in denial, etc.? Just to myself, it was the hardest part coming out to myself because I'd always been attracted to heterosexual men, super duper attracted and in love. The hardest part was the fact that I was in a relationship as well at the time when I started having these internal battles and struggles with myself. So I obviously took a step back from that and really worked on myself. So yeah, I think the biggest struggle too was like, oh my god, like, have I been gay this whole time? Not that that would be a bad thing, but like feeling like I'd lied to myself and like lied to other people was really hard for me, because I was like, hang on a minute, I've been so attracted to guys and in love with my boyfriend of like 5 years, so like what, like where is all this coming from? And that was a really hard struggle for me. But yeah. Well, they were all of your questions. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did answer, a lot of them were very similar, so if your specific question didn't come up, I would have answered it in some way, shape or form. Thank you guys so much for asking me those questions. I love sharing my life with you and helping you guys. I hope some of my answers really helped you in some way, shape or form. There is a girl walking across the road right now. She's looking at me and she can see me filming. Fantastic. Oh, and I looked at her and she just looked away. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, happy National Coming Out Day. I love all of you gays so much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.